There are moments when tragedy doesn't just break hearts, it confuses them. When sorrow spreads so far, so fast, that even clarity becomes a casualty. In the emotional aftermath of the shocking deaths of Liverpool forward Diogo Jota and his younger brother Andre Silva, a ripple of confusion emerged across social media, fan forums, and international news headlines, and it swept up another well-known football name, RB Leipzig striker Andre Silva, in a world so tightly woven by names, memories, and global followings. Such confusion was perhaps inevitable. But for the wife of Leipzig's Andre Silva, Maria Rodriguez, what began as a wave of global condolences quickly became a painful reminder of how closely entwined lives and legacies can be. Maria took to Instagram not just to clarify a misunderstanding, but to honor the fallen. She didn't just correct an error, she humanized it. She stepped forward with grace, humility, and heartbreak, reminding the world that behind every football name is a family, a life, a heartbeat, and a world shattered when it stops. This is not just the story of a mistaken identity. This is the story of how love, grief, and respect can cross even the deepest lines of sorrow. This is the untold tribute of a friend, a teammate, a wife, and a grieving football family. I'm remembering and reaching out in a time of immense pain. A nation in shock, a world in mourning. The news broke like a scream in silence. Thursday. Morning in Portugal began like any other. Clear skies stretched over Gondomar. Birds stirred in the trees, and families prepared for the coming weekend. But by midday, everything had changed. Diogo Jota, Liverpool's beloved forward, Portugal, international, father, son, and beacon of quiet brilliance, was gone. Alongside him, tragically, his younger brother Andre Silva, who had grown up side by side with him, breathing the same dreams, walking the same paths. The two were traveling toward the Spanish port city of Santander, from where they were expected to take a ferry back to England. Jota had been told by doctors not to fly due to recent lung surgery, so they chose the slower, safer route by road and sea. But fate had other plans. A devastating collision near the Portuguese border ended both journeys forever. In a single moment, the football world fell to its knees. Liverpool's Melwood training ground fell into mourning. Gondomar's city centre froze in grief. In Porto, tears fell for sons lost too soon. Across Portugal, across England, and across footballing nations everywhere, the weight of loss was palpable. But amidst this collective heartbreak, a strange wave of confusion emerged, unintentional, but deeply emotional. The name that stirred the storm: Andre Silva. The flurry of early reports. Headlines carried devastating clarity. Diogo Jota and brother Andre Silva die in tragic accident. What many failed to immediately realize, however, is that this Andre Silva, Diogo's real-life younger brother, shared a name with another well-known football figure, RB Leipzig striker Andre Silva. To casual fans and even international audiences unfamiliar with personal biographies, the connection was automatic and mistaken. Social media exploded with tributes not just to Jota, but mistakenly to Leipzig Silva. Fans began sharing highlight reels of the wrong Andre. Condolences flooded in from confused supporters around the world. Hashtags trended. Journalists scrambled to confirm details. And amid all of this, one woman, hundreds of miles away, stared at her phone, overwhelmed by a tide of messages, not all meant for her. Maria Rodriguez, wife of Leipzig's Andre Silva, received them all. Maria Rodriguez speaks with dignity, grace, and grief. Maria could have stayed silent. She could have simply watched the confusion fade as facts corrected themselves. But she didn't. Instead, she stepped into the moment with dignity, with compassion, and with an understanding far deeper than the headlines themselves. On Instagram, she posted a quiet but powerful message that instantly resonated. I've been receiving many kind and concerned messages lately. There seems to have been some confusion related to recent heartbreaking news. And I want to clarify that these reports are not about my husband, Andre Silva. Our hearts go out to the families affected by this tragedy. We are thinking of them. During this incredibly difficult time, it was short, was respectful, but more than anything, it was human. Maria's words were not just a clarification. They were a bridge between two realities. She and her husband had not lost each other, but they had lost a friend, a teammate, a fellow warrior in red and green. The pain was real, even if the confusion was not. And in that moment, football fans everywhere saw something that often gets buried beneath the gloss of stadium lights and contracts. The raw emotional connections that bind this community together. Andre Silva, the player, the friend, the mourners just a few hours after Maria's post. Her husband, Leipzig's Andre Silva, added his own voice to the sorrow. The Portuguese striker, who had once shared a dressing room with Jota at FC Porto and represented the national team alongside him countless times, posted a heart-wrenching tribute on Instagram. The photo was simple. The two in Portuguese colors, arms over each other's shoulders, smiling. The caption, however, carried the weight of grief. "I cannot believe it. We take every day for granted, but life can be brutally fragile." Are no words that will ever do. This doesn't make any sense. It's only pain and silence that weighs. Shared moments on and off the field. Laughter, sacrifices, victories, simple conversations that gain another weight today. You will always be with us in everything we were and are. You'll always be a part of us. 'Twas not the voice of a public figure speaking to fans. 'Twas the voice of a friend, robbed of goodbye, and in that moment, any confusion about identity fell away, replaced only by the shared ache of a brotherhood now broken. Porto memories. Portugal, dreams, Silva and Jota's paths had been intertwined long before the world knew their names. They were both part of Portugal's golden generation of forwards, fierce, intelligent, technical. During the 2016-17 season, Jota was on loan at Porto from Atletico Madrid. It was here, under the blue and white lights of the Estadio do Dragão, that their chemistry first flourished. Their bond, both on the pitch and off it, had its roots in sweat, late-night travel, pod night travel, a clinical finisher, Jota, the tireless runner. Two players whose styles mirrored their personalities, one methodical and composed, the other explosive and relentless. Together, they became part of a Portugal setup that many dreamed would inherit the torch from Cristiano Ronaldo and company. Now, one of them is gone, and the other left to carry not just his dreams, but his memory. Gondomar's silent goodbye, Friday's wake in Gondomar, just outside Porto, brought thousands to the brothers' hometown. Families clutched one another in silence. School children stood with red and green scarves. Liverpool fans flew in from Merseyside. Benfica and Porto supporters stood shoulder to shoulder in unity, not rivalry. Among them, in quiet mourning, were Maria Rodriguez and Andre Silva. There were no press conferences, no attention seeking, just presence, just solidarity. The Silva family mourned beside the Jota family, not because they shared blood, but because they shared football. It was a farewell like few others. And the echo of that goodbye continues to ripple through the hearts of players, fans, and families alike.